What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video is the predictions for Australia versus South Africa taking place in Australia. What a game we have installed for us. Weekend break from the previous games when Australia took on New Zealand in, unfortunately for them, not very good contests, and South Africa taking on Argentina in not a bad test match in South Africa, but then going to go lose in Mendoza 2 weeks ago, which was a big loss. Both teams are needing to prove a point. Both teams are wanting to show their countries that they are capable of winning, and both teams really have to win this weekend. Rassie Erasmus stated it is a must win this weekend. Michael Cheika's job could be on the line, so it's a must win for Australia. But as I've said before, both teams on paper have fantastic players. Some might not be playing to the standards of what they should be playing, and some are actually doing not too bad. But at the end of the day, in order to win a rugby match, you have to have a team effort, of each and every player performing. Example, the All Blacks. We have to have everyone producing the goods, whether it's the bench, whether it's the starting 15. They have to produce if they want to win, and it's so important for this game because it's pretty much a done deal now. All Blacks are on the verge of going to win the Rugby Championship, but now it's a battle of who gets second, and all three other teams, Argentina, South Africa and Australia, are all in contention for the second place in this tournament. And it's sad that we always have to fight for second, but you still got to fight for pride. You still got to really go at it and prove a point and show the world that you aren't failures and you're just in a rebuilding phase. For Australia, it's been a tough one for them. They're having their moments of shine where they're getting better. We could see it against Ireland, but then we go to New Zealand where they just haven't performed to the best of their ability. Now they've got such great players. Obviously in the previous test against the All Blacks, they were missing Falau. Hopefully he could be back for Australia. I know he's in the squad, but they still say he could be in doubt for the first game against the Boks. So that's a big loss for them if they can't get him in. I'm hearing big forward packs coming in. So changes are being made for Australia, and they're doing something different, which is good to see. It's exciting. As for South Africa, we've got Cheslin Kolbe, who's just come in from overseas. Now, there's a lot of talk of why bring him in. To be honest with you, when he played for Province, I rated the guy. I thought he was pretty good, and I believe he's got the potential to do it, but was he the right choice? I don't know. I'm 50-50 on it. I would have maybe looked at Kerwin Bosch or bring back Robert de Preer. Kolbe is great and he's quick and he probably might do a damn good job on the weekend, but he's just, I don't know if he's big enough, whereas Robert de Preer is stronger. Some of you guys who are from Europe have been saying, why not bring in Willie Leroux at number 10? Not a bad idea. I was actually chatting to a mate about it on the weekend. Definitely with the shot, because if I'm not mistaken, for Wasps he's played fly off, so it's definitely worth a go. And then I'll bring in Jaland at fullback and see what he can do, because he's a big boy, and against the Aussies and the All Blacks, I want a big strong team that can dominate and that can show strength. Obviously there's other greats there, but I just Rassie's got an interesting way, and I have faith in the man and what he's going to do. But it's just very interesting choices. I'm very curious to see the final squad for this weekend. I think it's going to be interesting. A lot of talk of if Elton Jantjies is coming back, Andre Pollard, will he start? So there's just a lot of talk around it. I mean, Warren Whiteley for South Africa, he's brilliant, but he hasn't shone. He wasn't the player he was last year, in my personal opinion. Obviously he's been injured and he's come back from injury and all that stuff, but I want to see more from him. I want to see more from these players, and I want to see them shining, really, because we can't keep expecting the Malcolm Marxes and the Beasts and Khaleesi and the normal guys doing well the whole time. We need to see the others stand up. Our centre pairing, Ammon, Estes, and if they are starting, I want to see more spark from these guys. And like I said, the passing out wide, getting the ball to the wings, getting the ball to the centres to do some work in order to run and get us tries. That is the way we're going to score tries against the Aussies. If we do this whole pass to your forward falls down, we're just going to keep staying fast. And a guy like David Pocock and Michael Hooper, especially Pocock, will steal the bloody ball from us, and they will either, if we're on the try line, we lose an opportunity, Australia go out wide and score tries, or vice versa. He will just take the ball and score a try. He's a damn good player, and he's so well respected for that. Now, obviously, they haven't shone like we know they can, but against a team like South Africa, we could see this, and I'm nervous for this weekend, just because of what I've seen from Australia against Ireland. They didn't play badly against Ireland, and at the start, the first half of both New Zealand and Australia games, they had their moments, they had their chances, and if they capitalised on those chances, they would have scored tries. Now, against South Africa, are we strong enough? Do we have the defence to take on the Aussies? Those guys, some of them are huge, and I'm going to come in hard and strong against the South African defence back. Are we ready for it? And that's what I'm nervous about. The attack, to me, wasn't the strongest. The defence had its moments, but it wasn't, again, the strongest. So those questions Rassie's going to need to ask and work on during this week of preparation for this game. For me, this is the big one. Obviously, against New Zealand, it's going to be huge. But playing in Australia, we don't have the greatest record. Besides last year with the 2 draws, it was we lost one, losing Australia, win South Africa, losing Australia, win South Africa. So I have a feeling we could see a repeat of that this year, but it all depends on how the Boks start, what's their game plan against Australia, how they attack them. If they kick the ball away and chicken out the whole time, then Australia's going to walk us, because Falau does not kick. Falau runs. If he's playing, he's going to come in and pound. Those boys are strong. The wings of Australia are big boys, and they will go through us. Guinea's got the experience, who's played against South Africa. Hooper, Pocock have played against South Africa. They have the experience to work out the strategies and to beat us. So I'm nervous of that. But so do South Africa. We have the experience and the talent to beat the Aussies. We've got the strength, but we just need to show up on that day and prove a point and just show that we're on the right move forward. We can't just start with the shakes. We've got to go in straight forward and attack the Aussies, and we've got to keep that momentum throughout. We could see that they're tired out. Fitness is a problem for Australia. It's a massive problem, and if we can capitalise on that, South Africa could definitely win at the end. Australia are dangerous at the start, and if we allow them through to score, it's going to be hard to chase them, especially in Australia. And I know the Aussies against South Africa, they're good in the second half as well. So it's going to be really, really intense. And I'm going to be curious to see how this all plays out, how they're going to attack this. Pollard needs to have a game plan. He needs to have, if he's starting, that the boot, the kicking needs to be on par. If he misses place kicks, we have no chance, because Australia are going to dominate. Bernard Foley is an experienced player. He might not be in the best form at the moment, well, for the Australians, but he is talented, and he could catch a wake up. The boys have just had a weekend off to recap, to reform, get the game plans on. So there's going to be new strategies in place. Cheika is playing for his life. He's going to have that team in so many systems in place. Stephen Larkham on the side as well. He is so damn good. We all know what a great that man was. He's going to have strategies, and together they're going to form something special, because otherwise Australia are just going ham down with Cheika. And they need to come up with something, because they don't want to lose a coach this time of the year. They don't want to lose a coach when we are just over a year away from the World Cup. They're going to want to get their head straight. And for me personally, I think they can. They can bounce back. But it just all depends on how well they play. Rassie as I said in the previous video, if it was last year this time, I'd be stressing, because I didn't think that Alistair Coetzee had the game plans or the skills in order to bring a comeback. Now, don't get me wrong, he did have a good game against New Zealand in South Africa, where we just lost by 1 point, but we still went through that 50-odd drumming. We drew to Australia, in Australia and in South Africa. Positives there, but we still weren't that team, and I just feel Rassie's going to have a whole different level and skill and game plan for the Boks, because we need to build, we need to go forward. 3 games won, 3 games lost. He needs to also improve his record, because then people are going to start questioning things. Unfortunately, that's the game we play in media, just attack our heroes and our coaches and all that stuff. So it's going to be an interesting game, and that brings to the prediction. It's going to be, the start is going to be, I think, intense. I think Australia are going to come back firing. The key to South Africa winning is playing a full 80-minute game. If the Australians' fitness level is weak, they're going to have to capitalise. They're going to have to dominate. They're going to have to take advantage. If we kick the damn ball away the whole time, we're going to lose. If we keep passing to our forwards when we go for the try line, we're going to lose the ball, because David Pocock is there. Michael Hooper is there. Strong players that are there to attack and defend. We need to pass out to the wings. We need to take opportunities. We need to play a running game. If we don't play a running game, we're going to lose. So for me, it's going to be a tough one, and I really, really, really hope I'm wrong. But I think Australia are going to just edge this by 3. I'm confident we have the team and squad to win, but I'm nervous that the pressure's going to get to them, and I hope I'm wrong. I am honestly 50% on this prediction, because I think it's going to go either way. But again, it all depends on the team who's the fittest and who plays the full 80 minutes game. But I just have a feeling we could just lose to Australia in Australia. Come next weekend, or the game in South Africa, I have a very different idea on that. But for me, just on what I'm going at, and I just see Australia doing it. They have to win. So do South Africa, don't get me wrong. But I just think Australia are going to have a little bit more fire and edge in them. They've got so much to prove. They've just played the All Blacks, so they're going to have a lot of, momentum. Obviously, they're not going to be positive and happy with the results that they had against the All Blacks, but they played a tougher team, so they're going to be, more prepared. Where South Africa had a shocker in Mendoza. So, there's positives and negatives in any way, but yeah, that's my prediction. I'm going Australia by 3 or less points, but I hope, as a South African fan, I hope I'm wrong, but we'll have to wait and see what happens in the game. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Who do you think is going to win, South Africa or Australia, and why? It's going to be an interesting game, and that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already, make sure you are subscribed so you can keep up to date with all future uploads. The recap or review of this video or of the game will be later, either Sunday or later or early next week. I am flying away to visit family, and I've got a big interview on one of the South African radio stations on Tuesday, so it's going to be a bit hectic, but I will try and get some content out for you guys as soon as I can. But make sure you subscribed in the meantime. The predictions for New Zealand and Argentina coming out as well tomorrow, and then the predictions for round 2 of the Pro 14. So make sure you subscribed, and I'll see you guys real soon for another video. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe and never give up. Cheers.